Not a drama I just went through with YouTube just to get this live up. I tried notifying people. It's telling me that I can't join my own live. YouTube is playing with me, but we're here and we're gonna make this work. Do 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 do. Let me see if I can share this link to Patreon. Get everybody in here. Kevin and Dale, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? I cannot notify anybody for some reason. I can't share the links to this live on Patreon. I can't share it on WhatsApp or anything. So I hope our people are able to find it. Otherwise, if there's just five of us in here, we'll have a five-person discussion. Hey, happy Monday. How are you feeling today? A little tired, John, a little tired, but I'm doing this live. I want to talk about Alpha. And you had the idea of talking about Alpha, so I said let me go ahead and do it today. But we'll see. If we can get 10 people in here, I'll go ahead and start, okay? I think your audio's... Oh, yo, what is going on? Ugh. Maybe I'm not supposed to have this discussion. Let's see. John, I don't... Audio is great for me. Okay, Subtle Realms, udo. Y'all, so YouTube is supposed to have this feature now where people can come up, like kind of like TikTok Live, where you can come up and talk to people. And so yesterday and today I tried to use the feature. And clearly YouTube does not have this feature. I can't share the links with anybody. The audio doesn't work, though I think that's more of a Wi-Fi thing. And then I can't, like, you can't see me on the camera, so I just turned it off. I decided not to do it, and now this is the best I can get it to work. Looking forward to hearing about Alpha. Great. I'll do my... Yeah, we're going to talk about Alpha today. Once we get 10 people in here, I want to hurry up and get to it. Everybody update me. How's their Monday going? How's your Monday going? John, how's your Monday going? Subtle Realms, how's your Monday? Kevin, how's your Monday? We have 8 people. If we can get 2 more people, we'll go ahead and begin. We're just gonna start at 10. For those who are just coming in, I've been trying to get it so that you guys can come up and talk, but YouTube keeps playing games, and I've been having a lot of technical issues. So let me know if my visual cuts out and my audio cuts out, okay? It'll help me a lot. Very mellow, lots of gardening and singing. Subtle Realms, I'm very jealous. I wish I can garden and sing. Monday's going calm. That's good. You know what? I'm glad you guys are having a good Monday. Maybe I need to change my orientation. If we get one more person in here, we'll go ahead and begin. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button. This is Derek with The Medicine Shell. Support on patreon.com/The Medicine Shell. The kids I taught were not too much. Are you a teacher? Hit the heart button. Yes. All right. John, are you a teacher? Do. We need 3 more people. I teach kids math. Oh, that's dope. That's really dope. That's good. That is good. I'm trying to start my son at a new school tomorrow morning. And then my daughter's 3, but I kind of homeschool her anyway. She likes to learn. And I like to teach, so it works out. So shout out to you, man. That's big. All right, we've passed 10 people. He said... Yeah, those of you who are coming in, if you, I don't want to hear about I didn't get a notification or nothing. YouTube is playing games with me, so I got to figure out what's going on. But that being said, guys, let us go ahead and begin. Oh, okike kerowa, alabo ala nne mmadụ na nne mmụọ, nne na-enye ndụ na-enye nke ọma dị n'ụwa. Ụmụ gị abịala. Ọkwa ije ike ka anyị siri aga abịa ebe anyị nọ taa ni otu anyị siri ike aga bụ otu unu ga-esi ike na mmụọ na-eme nke ọbụla dị mma n'anya chi ụwa. Otu a ka ọ ga-adị n'eke n'orie n'afọ na nkwọ You say, you say. All right, let's go ahead and begin. So this is Ask Me Anything. You guys ask me questions. I stick around. Um, I'm doing this one. Oh, partly because I owe John. John had recommended we talk about Alpha, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about Alpha today, right? Somebody says I made it. Well, welcome. I'm glad you made it. Aurora, ndewo, ndewo, ndewo. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Where do I start with Alpha? First and foremost, we're doing a boot camp. So our traditional medicine class starts at the ending of September 22nd. Our traditional medicine class starts September 22nd, and that traditional medicine class has an AFA boot camp. It's like 2 days of it. Usually we did one, but now I'm extending it to 2 days so we can go more in depth. So those of you who are at the Izumizu tier, that boot camp, you don't have to be signed up for the medicine class. You can just join it. You can just join the boot camp, or you can just join the medicine class and learn how to be a DBA. If you guys are interested in that Alpha boot camp, message me. I have created. If you go to Patreon, it should be like listed as like a product that you can sign up for on Patreon. And yeah, so go to Patreon and sign up. If you can't find it, message me. I'll help you out. We're gonna try because let's see. We're gonna try to keep like I'll say 8 seats available for people who are not signed up for the medicine class. Ademma. All right, let's go ahead and begin. What's up, man? Big shout out, my dad. My dad just got convicted. So many kids testified. He's never. Oh wow. Okay, well I'm glad those kids got justice. I'm glad those kids got justice. That's what that's and commend you for sharing that and being open. I'm really glad those kids got justice because in those situations it's really difficult to find justice. Really difficult. I used to work in the system, so I know. So shout out to you, man. Um, all right, let's go ahead and begin. So Afa divination, right? So the story of Afa begins as so, right? In the time of Ndimbu, of let me say Umuoshi. For those who don't know, Umuoshi are our dwarf ancestors, the ancestors who unlocked the mysteries of Odinala. These are the ones that set the foundation that we walk on today, right? And they are known as Ushi. In the time of Umuoshi, which is Ugachi for those who know your four world ages. Ugachi. Once human beings had transferred from light forms into physical forms. The first physical forms were dwarf-like people. Umuoshi, among Umuoshi, there was one woman who everybody went to for answers. Is this a closed practice? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're very welcomed. You are very, very welcomed. So, as I was saying, in the time of Umuoshi, in the time of our first ancestors, there was a woman who all people went to for answers. This woman had the mind of Allah herself, and she was able to relay the answers of anything in the world that anybody had a question of. People came from far and wide to ask this woman the mysteries of the universe, questions about their own life and their own problems, how to progress, why they're not progressing, what's going on, what's not going on, and so forth, and she would answer with perfect accuracy. This woman lived a long storied life. But as some of you may know, during Ogachi, human beings began to experience a phenomenon we refer to as death. When death emerged, people didn't know how to deal with it and what to do. And so they'd often run to Chuku and see if there was any way to make it stop, right? Well, death finally reached the community that this woman lived in. And being that she was of a very, very old age, she eventually passed away. And this all-knowing woman left with the light of the world, right? The knowledge of the world, the wisdom of the world. And so the entire world went into a panic. Our ancestors went into a panic. This is the second world age, Ogachi, the second world age. In this world age, we see human beings transfer from light forms to physical forms. We also see human beings begin to learn how to coexist with the earth and coexist with the physical reality and put together what we now refer to as Odinala, right? And this is one of those pivotal stories of how it happened. So the people panicked and they panicked and they panicked and they tried their hardest to bring her back to life. They splashed water on her, they shook her, they did everything they could, but she wouldn't come back. She wouldn't wake up. And so they went to Chuku and they asked Chuku, Chuku, this woman who provided us with all of the knowledge of the world, this woman who let us know what would happen before it happened, what has happened, and what shall happen, she's gone. We can't find her. And she's not waking up. Let me not say we can't find her. She's not waking up. And so Chuku told them that what they're going to do in order to speak to her again is that they're going to take the seeds of the ugili tree, they are going to plant it in her head, and then they are going to bury her under the ugili tree. Or no, I'm sorry, they're going to just bury her, right? Bury her. So they buried her, and after some years, an ugili tree started to sprout. This ugili tree sprouted, and seeds came out, its fruit came, and out came its seeds, and so forth. They returned to Chuku and said, okay, the tree's grown, but she's not back. What do we do? Chuku instructed them to take the seeds, align them in 4 rows of 4, in 4 rows of 4, and run a string through them. And that every time they roll these seeds, the old woman would speak. And so when the first, what we now refer to as Dibias of that time, did it, they were surprised to find that her wisdom had returned to the earth, and they could always use this method to communicate with her. This method is referred to as Afa. Afa. In my place, we call it Aha, right? Which is naming, giving a name to the unknown, giving a name to the unknown. Aha, name, right? And this was the beginning of divination, right? This process of divination, this process of using some type of method or instrument to speak into the unknown or to understand the unseen and so forth, right? Now, here's the thing about Odinani, and we talked about this yesterday. The ancestral tradition is not based on belief, right? If something works, it proliferates, it grows. People start, oh, what did you do when you were sick? Okay, I did this thing and it worked. All right, let me try it. It worked for me too. And then next person. If you do something and it doesn't work, leave it alone. If you do something and it doesn't work, leave it alone. Right? Leave it alone. I say this to say that Afa, in every African tradition, not every African, but like the coastal African traditions into the Bantu regions, West Africa, all the way from Guinea to Angola, all use Afa. Let me not even say Guinea to Angola. It's spread into North America, not North America, North Africa. And from North Africa, it's spread into Europe. And in Europe, they refer to it as geomancy, right? They don't know there's some keys they're missing when they do theirs, but they refer to it as geomancy in Europe, right? Now, earlier I told you it's the wisdom of Allah, the wisdom of the earth, okay? Geo, earth, means earth, right? And so, yeah, this particular system is referred to as Afa, right? Now, how does Afa work? Afa uses 2 nodes to say everything that could ever be said. Node number 1 is dark. Node number 2 is light. Meaning that when each shell, the top of the shell represents one, the other one represents something else. Phoenix, and I'm glad you're here, right? Glad you're here. Those of you who are on Patreon, I've been trying to post the link to this for the past hour and a half. Let me not exaggerate. For the past 45 minutes. And I guess I've been having issues with that for the past few lives, so I'm glad you guys can find me. And so as I was saying, so Afa uses light and dark to speak. When the seed flips up, it represents one thing. When it's down, it's dark. We'll talk about this more in the boot camp if you guys join. If it's down, it's dark. If it's up, it's light, right? Numerically, in our ancestral mathematics, this is also referred to as 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Now, I told you it spread into North Africa and spread into Europe, and then from Europe went to America, where it became the binary code, the 0 and the 1. Now, 1 and 2 in Igbo numerology is same as 0 and 1, because 1 also represents 0, right? In order for something to exist, to be, there has to be two things. This is why we don't call it a new year, but the African New Year is celebrated on the second moon, not the first moon. Because the first moon, it could be a fluke, it's not all the way, we're not all the way done yet, right? Once we get that second moon, we know a full year has begun. This second moon tradition is, you'll see it all throughout the whole coastal Africa, Bantu region, that kind of thing. And is also why they celebrate Mardi Gras at the beginning of the second moon and wrap it up at the end of the second moon, right? Onwa abo, abo bo two, or being, right? So it uses the number 1 and the number 2 to speak, or light and dark. But the number 1 is also 0 in this tradition. And number 2 is also 1 because it's the beginning. It's the true beginning, right? Okay. So we can go into Igbo numerology maybe later on if you guys have questions. So Afa uses that to speak, and then what happens is you have those 4 strings. You roll one string, it gives you a pattern, right? It can say light, light, dark, dark. Another one, you roll another one, it can just say light, 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 right? The next one can say dark, 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 dark. And then the next one can say light, dark, okay? That code, right? If you understand the Afa language, you would be able to read that code as a full sentence, okay? You'd be able to read that code as an entire sentence, okay? So for example, I did Afa one time, and it said that the person I was speaking to had a situation on their maternal line. There was a situation on the maternal line that needs to be rectified. And this situation that needs to be rectified should be rectified on the Nkwo day. That was the first answer it gave me. I can then ask another question, okay, what is the situation? And then roll it, and it'll now give me another set of answers. But the first thing it told me was there's an issue on the maternal line. So your mother's family has an issue, and something needs to be done on the Nkwo day to fix it. And I said, okay, ask the next question. I don't want to go into the person's business, but you continue asking, you get more and more details until you have a full situation. Now, people have used Afa to even tell stories. You can write a whole book just rolling Afa. Okay, Afa, what happens next? And it says the person entered this and that happened, that kind of thing, right? You can use it as an advisor. It's most typically used as an advisor, right? As an advisor. So in the sense that I'm going to make this decision, what should I be aware of? I have these 2 decisions in front of me. Which one do you think I should take? What's my next move? What should I do next? Every time I try to do this, it fails. What is the problem? What's going on? Those are the type of questions people ask Afa. Now, there's no limit, right? We have a DB on Patreon. He can do Afa for you if you have any questions and that kind of thing. But there's no limit as to what kind of question you ask. But the more specific you are when you're asking Afa the question, the more specific Afa is, right? The more you know about the situation, the more accurate the answer will be, right? There's an ilu that says, Mado ba Afa, Afa abauche, which means when you do Afa, when you ask Afa asks your wisdom, okay? So the more information you give Afa, the more accurate it gives you back. It is the exact same process as AI. It is the exact same process as a Google search. The more detail you have, the more nuanced the answer you receive. The more vague, right? Afa is used to figure out what is going on spiritually as it pertains to a problem or a situation. Most typically it's used, okay? It is used to figure out what is going on spiritually. Now, we have a traditional medicine class at Kedu, And I'm going to give you guys just like a snippet of one of the things we talk about in that class. And it's kind of like the order of operations that a DBA uses to heal and to do their work. Okay? Let me, wait, before I do, let me answer some questions. Hold on. Facial receipt, no problem. Is this the same as Ifa divination? So Ifa uses less strings. I think Ifa uses eight. Could be wrong. Uses eight, and Afa uses 16. Okay? So I think Ifa uses eight, Afa uses 16. I could be wrong. But no matter how you do the rolling, the okay, so the shell gives you the code 1010, or I mean not 10, 121212, right? Now that 121212 is gonna say something in a language called Afa, in the Afa language. It's gonna say something. It may say Atulupa, but Atulupa is not really an Igbo word and it's not really a Yoruba word. It's an Afa word. So not only does it work with mathematics, it has its own language. So if I go to Yoruba and I roll Obi, right, which is light, 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 which is the word, it says the word Obi, right? They may pronounce it as Obi or something like that. There's different places I'll pronounce it. But we'll say Obi in our place, but we know it's the same thing. It's Obi. Obi means Obi, and Obi will always point to the same thing no matter who's rolling it. So it's like all of us are asking Google or Chat GPT and our different. This person speaks Chinese. This person speaks Igbo, that kind of thing, and we're all asking, and it's giving us answers, right? But it under the hood, it has its own little language, its own coding language that it uses. So the Afa language is the coding language, right? And then, not to get too technical, and then under the coding language is the ones and zeros, which in this case is 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, right? So it's a computer. It works just like a computer, right? It's the first computer, all right? And we use it again for spiritual inquiries. Now, in the Yoruba tradition, they also do their afa slightly differently than we do in the Igbo tradition. In the Igbo tradition, you roll afa, and then whatever answer afa has, you say it. You like if a dibia does it for you, they'll ask the question and give and repeat the answer by singing, right? It's a form of rapping, right? They call it at home. They call it rapping when they translate it in English. You rap, right? You will speak the answer like this. You won't use your normal tone. You will add a little vibration to your voice. When you speak to Afa, you cannot use a normal tone. That little rhythm I did, right? That little rhythm. Anytime you see a masquerade, they're gonna speak in that rhythm, right? Anytime you're speaking to Afa, you're gonna speak in that rhythm. And to tell you the truth, if you speak Igbo with that rhythm, you'll sound perfect. I can say, "What's your last name?" Ofaderunwa. Okay, Ofaderunwa. The second one was the correct one, right? One of the things we talk about in the Igbo language class is that when it comes to Igbo language, you have to sing. You have to sing it. Okay, you have to sing it. The rhythm is as important as the words. Okay, and so you use a certain rhythm when speaking it. But in the Yoruba one, they have like the Odu, which are like set poems, right? So the Igbo one's a little more freestyle, and then the Yoruba one, there's like a set like it's if you get this answer, you say this specific poem, right? That kind of thing. But in the Igbo one, you freestyle a poem up based on the answers you're getting, right? You just repeat what Afa is saying in poetry form. The poetry is called mbem, mbem, M. If you're interested in it, Google MBEM, and you'll see how it's done. So slight differences as far as Ifa and Afa, but the same under the hood, exact same thing, the exact same system, the exact same thing. Even look at the names, right? Is each string a word? No, each string is a sentence, tell you the truth. Or how do I put it this way? Okay, let me do it this way. Each string, yes, each string is a word. My bad, okay. Each string is a word. So each string of four. I don't know, I heard your question wrong. Each string is a word, right? There are like every word is going to have its pattern. So light, 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 light is obi. The obi refers to chuku or chi. Okay, obi refers to chuku or chi. And then if the shell is down, it is dark, 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 which is akon. Akon refers to eke. Akon refers to eke. Okay. Obi is a light. This is how you flip people off in Nigeria. I didn't mean it. It's called waka. So Obi is a light. Let me do it this way. It's like a light that projects out, right? Akon is a darkness that goes in. Light project out, light. So uses light and dark, light and dark, light and dark to say different messages. Now I'm gonna try to remember off the top of my head, but I think I could be wrong. I think it's dark, 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 light is udi. The word udi, right? The word udi, right? Um, udi is a procreative darkness. Okay? It is a procreative dark. Now, here's the thing about Afatu, and the same applies with the Igbo language. One string is going to give you one word. That word is going to be very, very vague to the point of almost not having a meaning, right? If you add a second string, if you roll a second string, it'll give you another word, and together, those two words will give you something very specific. If you roll four, it gives you something even more specific, right? Excuse me. Okay. Right? So for the more strings you have rolled, the more specific. But each of those words, like if I say otule, otule is one of the words you can get in Afa. Otule by itself is so vague that it almost has no meaning. But when it's paired up with other words, it tends to make those words grand, right? So if you roll something that alludes to an ancestor, right? And you roll another one that's utule, now we're talking about ndiegede, like your higher and like your highest ancestors, right? It could also refer to somebody who has taken an Nze or Ozo title because they're a living ancestor. Okay? So I've rolled two, and I now know that we're talking about somebody who is very high in their, well, maybe call it spiritual ranking, right? A very high ancestor, living or non-living, an Ichie, right? But all I know is that this is who we're talking about. Now, if I roll another string, it may give you more details, right? The next string you add the next string and now gives you the detail of on your father's side or something like that, right? On your father's side or on your mother's side, or you are the Utsule something something, right? I can't remember the second string, right? Then you roll another one and I'll tell you something even more specific about that. Okay, so if I ask Afa, right, what am I going to be in the future, right? Roll. It'll give you something, right? Sometimes it'll give you a process that you need to do for you to gain the answer. So a lot of DBAs use Afa to figure out the ritual solutions for that's what I was going to talk about. I interrupted myself, right? The ritual solutions for the problems they're facing based on their clients and stuff, right? So the order of how DBAs do things. The first thing you do if you get sick at home, right? Let's say Western medicine doesn't exist. The first thing you do is you check your family. You ask your family members. Remember, you're living in a community with thousands and hundreds of people who are related to you, okay? Some families is hundreds, some families is thousands. This is no exaggeration, right? I think my family, if everybody, depending on which ancestor we're counting down from, everybody sat down together, we're well into the thousands, right? Well into the thousands. So the first thing you do is you go to your family, right? Hey, I'm sick, right? And then your family goes, okay, the last time, your members of your family, when I was sick, I took this. When I was sick, I went to a dibia. They recommended this. When a dibia gives you a healing, or a dibia heals you, you now become a healer because you have the knowledge of what it takes to overcome that challenge, whatever challenge it is that you faced, right? Whatever challenge it is that you faced. I compare it, like when I talk about this, I compare it to like Alcoholics Anonymous, right? A lot of people who pass AA become AA teachers, right? Because they can see it from two perspectives: the perspective of somebody who overcame, and the perspective of somebody who's been through it, right? So your family will give you the solution. Almost everything ends at that level. Almost everything ends at that level. There's somebody in your family has had this same thing, and they know the solution. They know the medicine for it. All right. Oh, okay. We put this together and we made this medicine and we made it into a tea. We made it into a soup, and you drink it and that kind of thing, right? For example, now when my wife had our kids, my mother-in-law made this soup called jimiriako, right? Which is yams and hot water, right? This is really, really, really spicy soup, but it helps get rid of the afterbirth, right? It helps get rid of the afterbirth and it helps the stomach return back to its normal shape and that kind of thing. And she knew because her mother knew. Her mother did it for her. And so that kind of thing. Most issues end at that level. But if you take that medicine that other people have taken and it doesn't work, right? And it doesn't work, we need to now, okay, we're not dealing with the same thing anymore. Now you go to the dibia. Okay? Now you go to the dibia. Okay, I did this, I tried this, it didn't work, I tried this, it didn't work. A good dibia will send you back and recommend you go do something else. Okay, try this instead, right? Recommend you back, go do something else, that kind of thing. The reason we take time in this at this level is because it's best to assume that it's not a spiritual issue. It's best to assume it's not a spiritual issue. But if you take the understood medicine and the understood proven medicine doesn't work, we now ask Afa what is going on. Okay? We now figure out there's something spiritual going on. The DBO will now start asking you questions, or they'll ask you to give them their story. Some of them won't ask you nothing. They'll just tell you what your problem is, which is fine, right? I've actually encountered somebody like that. And which is, again, is not a problem. I just found it funny. But so they start asking you these questions. Okay, get as much information as possible. The more detail, again, it's a query. If you're a computer person, right? A prompt, AI person, right? If you're using ChatGPT, give the most detailed prompt possible. Okay. Once they get all your answers, they then do the afa. Now, usually, not even usually, period, afa always receives a sacrifice, right? Or a gift. So some people, you can give afa cola, you can give afa wine. Some people would kill a chicken. If you need to do anything you need to do, you would bring it to the dibia. They're not going to go buy it for you, right? In fact, traditionally, if a dibia recommends medicine for you, you're supposed to go to the market and buy it yourself. There's something or if you're supposed to go into the forest and find the leaves yourself, there's something in the healing process that helps when you make the medicine. I don't know how to explain it, right? But it's just what it's understood. That's what's understood, right? So, what was I going to say? So, once we ask Afa, okay, what's going on, right? Let's say we're talking about a sickness. What's going on? You understand? Afa can then use all those details to give us a detailed answer, okay? So, if I say, we were talking about Utule earlier. Utule, vague, but when put with other words, it usually makes things bigger and grander and has an air of like respect, right? And so if you're sick and that kind of thing, and you now figure out that yeah, you have this sickness, but it's also linked to the fact that you kicked over that thing you weren't supposed to kick over, right? That your ancestor way back left for you guys, or maybe you sold something in the family you weren't supposed to sell, and that kind of thing. Then okay, now we can start talking, right? It's so interesting too. It's so funny too because we had so our in-house DBA. I'm not giving anybody's business, but our in-house DBA does alpha for people, and we had this family actually come to him right through the medicine show and that kind of thing. It was a family, and the dad didn't give too much detail, right? In fact, I was suspicious. I was like, why are they all coming together? Like, this is weird. And they were talking about this issue they were having in their family, and that they had done these things and it wasn't working and that kind of thing. And then Afa said that the father there's a duty that the father is supposed to do, that the father knows the duty but is refusing to do the duty. And until the father goes back home and does what they're supposed to do, this problem is going to persist. The father again. I paid attention to this one because I was like, why are they all here? Is this like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I get paranoid about stuff like that, right? Because it's unusual. And I paid attention to this one, and the father is like, it's true, right? And starts telling this story about how he's supposed to be the Ejiofor in his family, but he refused it because he's a Christian now, all this stuff, and he was a part of the burning of their family agon. He was a part of it when he was younger, right? And that he's suspected that this is what it was, and the Alpha said it specifically. So it's like that, right? Because he has all these details, his answer is more clear. It's better, right? It's more, but he can give you an answer. There was another person, again, not giving anybody's business. This is the last of this thing I'll talk about of real stories. There was another person who Afa said that they had committed an abomination, but the Dibia assumed it was one type of abomination. It just said abomination. So the Adibia assumed it was one type that's very common, especially with Americans. And the person was like, no, that's wrong. I've never done that, you know? And then me and the person started talking, and they started talking about another, the actual abomination that the thing was referring to. And I was like, oh no, that's what it was. It just said abomination. That's actually that thing right there. Yeah, that's the thing. So we were able to pinpoint it after having more conversation. But the yeah, the way it was read incorrectly. But Yafa said there was an abomination, or this situation is linked to an abomination, something like that, and it was. Right? So yeah, that's Afa. Let me see if you guys have any questions. I've always wondered, why does one need to be initiated to be allowed to throw Afa? It's like being an autodidact. Maybe you're not pretentious enough. So in the Igbo tradition, in the past, right, being able to do Afa is a gift. It's not everybody that can do Afa. It's not everybody that can do it. It's certain people that can do Afa. And when those people do their Afa, and the people that aren't supposed to do or don't have the gift do it, you'll see a clear difference. So what tends to happen is, if you're going to be a Dibia period, you're going to be initiated, right? You're initiated as a Dibia period, right? And Dibias are the ones who do Afa. So in the process, this is back in the day. It's not done this way anymore. In the process of becoming a Dibia, they actually cut your tongue like several times, like up and down the edge of your tongue, and they put a medicine on there that burns. It's really hot, and they use that same medicine. It's almost like putting peppers. They put the pepper in your eyes, right? And they cut the ichi marks on your head with a razor, and they have you stare at the sun for a very long time, and the blood pours on the floor and that kind of thing. Now, the only people who can do this afa are the people who that same ugili tree started growing out of the ground from where they did the what can I talk? From where they did that initiation. If an ugili tree starts growing from there, right? Now maybe if the person sneaks back and puts a seed, that kind of thing. But once it starts sprouting, that person can then begin their apprenticeship, working under somebody who does afa. This is the traditional way they used to do it, right? That person can then begin their apprenticeship, right? And that apprenticeship will last until that tree gives that person seeds to form their own beads with. And this can take, I don't know how long it takes an ugili tree to fully grow, but it's years, right? It's years. So with all of that together, you'll notice it's probably not that many people who really have this gift like that, right? It's not that many people who have this gift at this level. But those who do have that gift, back in the day, people used to travel from what is now Togo on foot to come and speak to these people. People used to travel from what is now Ghana on foot to come and speak to these people. People went far and wide all over the world to come and speak to these very specific people. Because when they do Afa, it's spot on, right? It's spot on. And it's intuitive for them as well. I have to use a book to learn it because it's not my calling, right? But for them, it's intuitive and that kind of thing, right? So there is an initiation process because one, it's a very powerful thing, right? It's like it's very powerful. It's not something you just hand to everybody. Now everybody can do it, right? It's now everybody can do it, but in the past it was only for a certain type of person, and that person could not joke with it. It was no joke. It was no joke, right? So a lot of stories about these seers or these arushi, and that kind of thing, who are all knowing and they're sharing their wisdom with the world. And then people start playing around with that wisdom or not taking it seriously or testing it. And because of that, it goes away. That gift goes away from the community, right? It goes away from the community. Because the more the spirit that deals with it, right, is a mother spirit. It's a woman, right? And what we know in Odinani is the female spirits, they don't play around. They do not play. So when you're trusting somebody with that, it's like you're trusting them with a very powerful, very delicate thing. Okay? Very powerful, very delicate thing. In the past. Now I think it's more open, though only DBS do it. Right? I was teaching one kid order of operations today. That's dope. IFA uses 16.2. Thank you, Isabel. I didn't know that. Where do you go to enroll or do you do initiation? So we have a traditional medicine class that we are starting September 22nd. If you go to www.kedu.me and sign up, reserve a seat. If you are on Patreon, you're at the highest level, then you can also walk in for free. And the class teaches you how to be a DBA, how DBA work happens, and that kind of thing. And then we used to do this at level 1, but I've moved it to level 2 because some people are not serious. So at level 2, the DBA helps walk you through an initiation, right? The DBA helps walk you through your initiation, right? But usually by level 2, you should know if this is for me or not. Those who are just curious, level 1 is fine. It's enough, right? Which one is more knowledgeable, I Ching or Afa? I've never used I Ching, but I'm going to say Afa because I'm biased. I've never used I Ching, but I'm going to say Afa because I'm biased. And I've personally seen Afa be really accurate. In my own life. I've told the story many times of the few times I've done Afa. And how specific and spot on the answers were to the point where I laughed. I started laughing out loud, right? Does each code in Afa have a story or a verse associated with Ifa? That's a good question. So no, that's the difference, right? So each code, when you get the code, you would recite the answer like a poem. You would rap or sing the answer. So the thing itself is the verse. There's no extra verse that's on top of it. The Afa itself is the verse, right? So I'm saying all these different things. There was, for example, I told you the story of the person who took part in the destruction of their family Agon, and is supposed to be the Ejiofor of the family, but he's kind of ran away from all that stuff. The answer was given in poem. The answer is given in poem, right? And so I think what they did in the Yoruba tradition is they kind of wrote down some standardized ones. They wrote down some standardized ones, kind of in recent history. I think that was a recent history thing too, right? It's not like an ancient thing. It's been maybe in the past 50 years, 50, 60 years that they wrote down the Urdu and all that. All right, Brandon, good night, and take care, guys. Really nice seeing you. Freestyle poem is mad cool. I gotta sign up for Igbo language class. Yeah, so we would love to have you. We just finished our class this last week. We just finished class this last week, so you got some time to sign up. Message me if you need time, because we try to do 12 seats per class, and there's three levels: level Evo 1, Evo 2, and Evo 3. Right? We also had somebody just graduate Evo 3. Evo 3 is only for the strong, so we just had somebody graduate Evo 3, and I'm super proud of her. I think her name, she was just in here. I hope she's still in here, but that was super awesome. And she can speak Igbo now. She's fluent. She's fluent. She can hold. She can speak for, what was the amount of time? I think 20, 30 minutes consecutive without stopping. Can speak and respond. Speak and respond. Can write. All that stuff. So yeah. Oh my God, I think singing you're talking about is African American preachers get to whoop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Kamal, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you got it. You got it. You catch the spirit, right? You catch the spirit. It's the same thing. It's the same thing because the spirit of Afa, which by the way is Arobinago. Arobinago. Arobinago possesses the person when they're doing Afa, right? Arobinago possesses the person when they're doing Afa. And they speak for which you're going to speak in poem. In them, right? You're going to speak in poem. So very much, yeah, 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 yeah. Very similar to that. Trust me, all that, look, if they don't do it in an Irish Catholic church, that's us. Okay? We've added a whole bunch of sauce to a whole lot of people's traditions where it didn't belong, right? Even in Islam, they said that the first one that was singing the damn thing, what's that thing? The surahs, maybe the person was Bilal. It was the castrati, right? He was castrated, enslaved man from Africa, but he sang the poem. He sang the verses, right? He sang the verses. Where do you think he got that idea from, right? Where do you think Bilal got that idea from? Ademma. Yeah, we've added a lot of sauce to a lot of things, man. If it's saucy, it's us. Hold on. Okay, there's a lot of questions, so I'm gonna slow down. All right. It sounds like you might put forth the effort to be healed, not just expect someone that's gonna fix you. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, possibly. That's interesting, right? There's an element of it too that's transparency, right? It's a transparency thing too. Popping open a bottle and hoping that the pill you're taking is what they it is. You go get the ingredients, and then I make it right here in front of you. So, and there's an element of it that is transparency and accountability. But then there's also I'm seeing what you're saying. I never thought about it that way. You putting in the effort of being healed. Odemma. Come on, that was dope. How do they do things in contrast to back then for people who have the Afa gift? How do they do things in contrast? So the difference would just be it was just significantly less people were doing Afa. And if you wanted to do Afa, you would travel far and wide. Now it's almost like people know who is good, people know who's not serious. There's this town called Umaka, where it's close to, well, it's where my wife's region, but it's fairly close to where I'm from. It's about a 15-minute drive, which is far in Nigeria, right? It's about a 15-minute drive far in Igbo land, let me say. 15-minute drive from my village. And there's one man there, one old man who is so good at Afa that everybody from everywhere comes to speak to him when they need Afa, right? I also believe there's people in Okija that are like that. Everybody travels far and wide to go speak to that person, right? When you have the gift, people know, right? The word of mouth spreads. You understand, right? So now it's almost like a trial and error more. Whereas before they had a very specific way of identifying the people that had that gift. Now it doesn't mean that a person who doesn't have the gift won't be able to do Afa, right? It's just the person with the gift is just going to be more accurate. I don't know how to put it. It's just like a better computer, right? It's a better computer. It's like the difference between Your Nokia and your iPhone, right? They can both make calls, right? But one of them really makes those calls, that kind of thing. So I'll dim my wow, that's beautiful. You study until the tree bears fruit. It's poetic and makes sense. Yes, Kamal, man, I'm glad you isolated that too. So a lot of things, when it comes to our ancestral understanding of time, time is the byproduct of events. Time is the byproduct of events. So we had a traditional. I'm just gonna be real. We had a traditional medicine class that really was pissing me off one year. They were doing too much in that class. I love everybody in it, but they were doing too much, and we had to. By the end of the class, we had to learn to tone down the Americanness, right? And that's the Nigerian Americans and the American Americans too, right? Everybody. And one of the issues we ran into was forming an awful, forming an awful, right? And so the way you get an awful is the tree has to drop a branch. If the tree drops a branch and you find that branch, you can use it to form an awful, but you can never cut the branch off the tree, pull the branch off the tree. If it takes you 20 years to get that branch, so be it. If it takes you 3 seconds, so be it. The tree will give you when it's your time. Because the time for you to receive an offer is determined by when nature gives it to you, not when you decide, not when you say, "Oh, okay, it's Thursday. I got to hurry up and get it before the next class." Right? So this is a lesson we had to really take time learning because people wanted to get it now, now, now. Okay, I want to order it. Where can you order it? Where can you buy one? Da, 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 da. I'm like, look, if you guys are trying to order anything, leave me out of it. Go do it underground, right? I'm sure they went and did. Leave me out of it because I'm not going to be associated with cutting a branch off an all-fall tree or pulling on a branch off. I'm not going to do that. Y'all can have that. And I told them specifically, hey, that kind of thing. But if it requires if you want to go to Africa and wait till the tree drops, so be it. So be it. Because part of picking up that awful is everything it took for you to get to that point and the timing and everything like that, right? So time is a byproduct of events. It's not something you dictate, right? You don't tell the sun when to rise. But when the sun rises, you react. Okay? So, congrats on being fluent in Igbo. Yes, congrats on I don't want to call her name out. I don't want to call her name out, but yeah, congrats to her for being fluent. She's done incredibly well, incredibly well. Just joined. What's Unc talking about? Man, I'm talking about them things, boy. All right, I used to make poems for people when I read them a while back. I felt like I was channeling words. So, you did it. The Nokia lasts longer. Yeah, maybe. The Nokia has centipede. That's the difference. Uh, do you have any app idea that you wish existed? Yeah, I have a whole bunch of app ideas. I have a whole bunch of app ideas. All I generate ideas at an obnoxious pace, right? Because I can't do all these things. Anything else I do beyond this point, I have to do with other people, right? I can't. I'm stretched thin, right? Though I'm organizing that, but I have a lot of app ideas. Do you have any app ideas? Who is that? SSNNAAK. Or are you a developer? If you're a developer, reach out to me. We can talk. Okay? If you're a developer, reach out. We can talk. Though they're saying you can use AI to make apps now. You know. But anything else I'm going to do with people. The problem is, I don't know. If you're so, people are people. People are people. I'll do my guys. It looks like the questions have ran out, ladies and gents. It looks like we've ran out of questions. All right. So, anyways, yeah, another part about alpha. So before you do, so let's say now the tree gives you seeds to work with, right? The tree gives you seeds to work with. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to dry them, and then you're going to take the seeds and you're going to bury them. This is in the home context, back home. You're going to bury them in the market, in the soil in the market, okay? You're going to bury them in the soil of the market, and you're going to leave them there for one entire moon. For one entire moon. People will also take the seeds and bury it with an ancestor or somebody who's deceased, like their grave, somebody who used to do afa, right? So they'll go to the grave, dig a little bit, put it in there, that kind of thing. You put the seeds in there. You bury the seeds in there for an entire moon, all right? Sometimes a sacrifice is given to that area, and sometimes something is planted to let you know, hey, this is where it's at, right? But you bury it, right? A lot of people will just give it alcohol. Alcohol is fine. You put alcohol on that spot. And the reason for this is that afa is has to the seeds have to learn, quote unquote, the language of the living and the language of the dead. Okay, the seeds have to learn the language of the living. Go to Google Lab. AI can make apps for you. Go to Google Lab. Moonshine, appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah, I keep coming up with ideas. You know, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. So it has to learn the language of the living and the language of the dead, right? And the market is important. The reason the market is important is because it is one place that you are assured that all of your ancestors' footprints have touched. Okay? Or many of your ancestors' footprints have touched. Everybody goes to the market, right? It is also where the living are. Everybody that's living comes there, right? One of Afa's names is the gossiping old woman. And so when it's in the market, it's also listening to the gossip and is getting in tune with what's going on in this town, right? After a full moon, you will dig the seeds out. You will not wash them. You can shake some of the dust off so that's functional, but you don't wash them because the dirt on it is important. That's important. You'll notice with a lot of ritual items, you don't necessarily wash them. Even with your shrine, there's a part of it that you're not supposed to wash, right? So I don't wash the part that represents Agon for me, but I'll sweep out the areas around it and that kind of thing, right? And you'll notice somebody who's a very, very, very powerful, old person in a thing. Their thing just looks like a big old, like a mound of who knows what, right? But all of that is intention accumulating. All of that is intention accumulating. Prayers, wishes, communication, outreach, connection, intention, will. All of that is accumulating. Every time you give, put something there. So the messier, the better. Even with the seeds, the dirt on it, it was in that soil. It's just one of those things that make it, that give it seasoning, right? It's seasoned, right? That kind of thing. And so you take the seeds and then you string it up and then begin, right? Now, whenever you're doing afa, you will activate it somehow, right? When I did afa, I used alcohol. Afa likes alcohol, I've learned, right? I use alcohol, and I would use a penny. I didn't actually use or a nickel. I didn't use the ugili, right? You can use different instruments, by the way, right? But the ugili is said to be the most accurate. I had a nickel, and I would just flip. Heads was this, tails. I would tell Afa, heads is this, tails is this, and then with the alcohol and that kind of thing. And then I would speak to it in poem. It would speak back to me in poem, and I'd be getting these answers and that kind of thing, right? It's phenomenal stuff. So before you explained, I thought the seeds were fed from the wisdom of the ancestors. Maybe it's the same thing. What do you mean by that? Oh, do you mean like as far as the sacrifice? The As a rule of thumb, the if it's female, it will receive a sacrifice. Right? If it's female, it will receive. There's just a rule of thumb. If it's female, you gotta pay. If it's female, you gotta pay. So if that's what you're referring to, then yeah, it receives a sacrifice. So that kind of thing. Are you essentially programming it? Yes, you are. Yeah. Yeah, everything you've been through makes you stronger. Exactly. So you don't wash away the experience. You said it. You said it. Kamal, you're cooking tonight. Uh, do you choose what kind of debia you want to be? You figure out what kind of debia you are. You figure out what kind of debia you are. You can choose all you want, but the more you walk down that road, the more you narrow back to who you've always been to begin with. Okay, the more you narrow back to who you've always been to begin with. Okay, I know. I consider him a friend. I have a friend who he's a babalawo in the Yoruba tradition, but he expressed that he wants to kind of start looking into the Igbo side more. He just encountered the Yoruba one first, but he's very already a plant scientist, right? If he chooses to be, I don't know, maybe a dibia afa or a bone doctor or there's a dibia iwa surgeon, life will bring him back to those plants. So part of your path as a dibia is figuring out what kind of dibia you are, and it is who you've always been. That's the best way to put it. It is who you have always been. Okay, so you're not gonna. Oh, I didn't know that about. No, you've always known. You've always known. Okay, there's dibias, dibia anomano, who deal with animals, right? But as kids, they were always dealing with animals. They were always trying to fix up birds with broken legs and all that stuff. That's just what they did when they had no other thing in their head telling them otherwise. Maybe they spent some time and forgot, but then all of a sudden they went back to it. And okay, this is who I've always been. This is who I've always been. The people that are mathematically inclined. My son is a damn math genius, right? His grandfather is a mathematician, you know, and his father was a debia, and his father was a debia, right? So that mathematical what you call is I'm gonna assume that they were more math driven in their debia work. I'm not gonna be no math debia. It's not my gift. I'm not a math person, you know, that kind of thing. So, when you said seasoning, made me think of a cast iron pan. Pass down the cast iron pans. You don't scrub it clean. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let me tell you, Kamal, do you know where that? Do you know the African connection to that tradition? In the in Igbo land, and probably all of Africa, women take pride in how dark their pot is. Women take pride in how dark their. It's like a flex, right? How dark your pot is, right? And you don't wash things off. You don't wash it off. You let it all get on there, that kind of thing, right? But they take pride in how charred it is. The more charred, like that means you've got seasoning. You've been doing this, right? If you've got a fresh, shiny pot, that means I don't know. You know, does she even know how to cook? Right? Does she even cook? You understand? This thing is a little too clean. But when you go, they call them church mothers now, where they got the little dangly thing on their bottom arm, and they got the black pot. Ah, man, you're about to eat. You know you're about to eat. So yeah, yeah, same thing, same thing, same thing. You know, uh, I I have this person that I push back on this idea. I don't. Whenever they say that, oh, Black Americans they took away our Africans. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You know what I mean? No, they did. You just don't call it that. You do it, but you don't call it that. I think sometimes people need like a costume or something in order to know what they're doing. You do it, you just don't call it that. So you bringing up this pot thing, I didn't even know that. But the minute I started reading your sentence, I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. That's what. Oh, they do that too. Okay, and it doesn't surprise me anymore. Like I said, I'm reading the sentence. I'm like, okay, boom, it's that. Not surprised, right? Somebody will be telling me that they took away their traditions, and then their grandmother had a prayer closet. Okay, which Catholic church they do that at? Which Methodist church they do that? Of course, it's gonna have in you know, the aesthetics of the condition. I'm not dismissing what happened on this continent, right? I'm not dismissing that at all. I'm just saying it's still there. It's still there. It's more there than people give it credit for, right? Oh, I mean when you plant the seed in the cemetery. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, the seeds aren't intended to sprout. They're just there to learn. So maybe that's what you're saying. Is there a type of debia that's associated with storytelling? Yeah, yeah. That's what you'd call like we don't call them griots, but that's what you call a griot. That's a griot. That's a griot. John, that's a griot. Absolutely. So the word dibia, right, is diabia. What is abia? Abia is wisdom from beyond. From wisdom from beyond, right? It is uche, referred to uche. So in the Odinani, we understand that there's two forms of wisdom. Ako, which is wisdom that flows through you from earth, from the mother, and uche, wisdom that flows through you from the father. A dibia is a person that is tapped into or balancing both. Okay, everybody has both running through them, that kind of thing. But when they receive uche, when the uche comes in, the, okay, the book After God is dibia. That's that phrase, After God is dibia. The meaning of that phrase is when a message is sent into the world, the dibias receive it first. Okay, when a message is sent into the world, which is an abia, a light, a sentience, a consciousness, an idea. When it's sent into the world, the DBS receive it first. And it is their responsibility to let it out, to give everybody access who don't naturally gain access to it. So there are different types of abia, right? The difference between, it's abia because it's almost like, it's like the wisdom is divinely sent. Okay, the wisdom itself is divinely sent. It's not that you read it somewhere, which not I don't think one's better than the other, but it's not that you read it somewhere, but it came from somewhere else, right? You maybe you can't even explain it. You understand? So that being said, anything to be known, there's a debia of that thing. Any form of consciousness or wisdom, there's a debia of that thing, right? And what's funny is as a DBA gets older and older, they become more and more specific as to what they are. To the point where the very, very, very old DBOs are really granular and they got a long list of things they don't do. Right? Those are the ones I can tell you, come on this day, at this time, don't wear this color. The old ones. The young ones, they'll come in. You know, one's not wrong, one's not right. It's just that one knows themselves so well that they know what works and what doesn't work for them. You understand a lot better than a young person. Okay, so their storytelling, that's in America they call those griots, right? That kind of thing, right? There was in the Congo the story of Mumbo Jumbo, right? The story of Mumbo Jumbo. It's a person that was able to heal people through song and storytelling. And the white people, right? They heard that and they said, "Man, that's a bunch of this." And they used the phrase "mumbo jumbo" to say BS, right? But that's actually a story of a person from the Congo region. I'm not sure with ethnic group or whatever, but it's from that area. Right? It was a person. You know. I wish I got my granny's cast irons. Wow, I never knew that. We seasoned the pans so they didn't rust. But you get that flavor exactly. Yeah, same. You know, the darkness shows the character of the pan. Exactly. I need to do my African ancestral DNA. I wonder if I'm Igbo. That's why this all makes sense to me. I'm gonna zoom in, try to see your face. I can't see your face from here. I could do it for you if you need, but it's all good. I was taught to pray in a prayer closet. That's an ubi. That's an ubi. That's all. That's an ubi. If your grandmothers or great grandmothers, whoever, they also had a little corner in the kitchen that was kind of just dedicated to The Lord. I'll tell you exactly what that is. Right? Little corner in the kitchen dedicated to the Lord. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what that is. Too many swear we have no culture. Yeah, damn you, Kai Sinet. And in Jamaica, with the Dutch pot. I'm not surprised. Debia is the phrase. Yep. I'm a massage therapist. We've been wanting to learn to incorporate traditions into the practice. I haven't found much. I'm trying to see if I can. It's a whole lot of letters in your name. I'm not gonna lie, and as somebody with a lot of letters in my name, so but I'm gonna learn it. Um, Malekoi. Oh, uh, Malekoi Comedia. Malekoi. You just want to wait. Hold on. I'm gonna learn this name. Mal- Malekoi Comedia. Malekoi Comedia. We have a traditional medicine class if you're interested. Otherwise, reach out to me and we can talk. That kind of thing. We can talk. So we've had we've had a someone who does Reiki. We've probably had a couple of people who do Reiki take the traditional medicine class, and then massage therapists in our on our Patreon community. But we don't. I don't think she's taken any classes yet. Jamaica with the Dutch pot. Yup. Not Kai. He's Trini, but I'm hold on. Ah shit. In some Caribbean islands, they call these African practices obia. Yeah. I wonder if they're trying to say abia. Yeah, it's funny. I got to do an interview on a Jamaican radio station, and I didn't realize that they had laws against speaking about these things. There's like laws. I was just going off. I was going off. I went from top to bottom, up and down. Man, they never called my ass back. But I guess they got laws against speaking. But I was made aware of Obia, and there's a strong connection between the Igbo tradition and Obia, Igbo and Akan. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. Or Obia. I think it's Obia. But yeah. I'm Bria. Oh, what up, Bria? Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, oh my goodness. I have dedication, part of my kitchen to my mom. Weird question based off of US demographics. Which race would be bred out faster by interracial breeding between. What the fuck? Which one would be bred out faster between interracial breathing with what? Huh? That's a good question. I don't think you can breed out races because if everybody's mixed, then among the mixed people, they'll decide who's white and who's not white, right? But if we want to go by, I don't know. I think, hmm, I think if everybody mixed, the it, the black people would be bred out quicker, right? One, white people have the numbers. Two, I believe statistically, mixed people tend to have white partners, right? It's funny too. Americans are hilarious because, like, if you go to old Hollywood, all the old Hollywood white people, all those they were all black. All of the Clark Gables, Audrey Hepburn, all those fools were black. They were all black. All of them were black, right? But they were just so mixed that they looked white, right? And I'm thinking maybe the features work with the camera better. I don't know. But if you see them all in color, you're like, yo, what the fuck? Babe Ruth, all of them. Even Elvis. Even Elvis. Elvis is a Melungeon, right? If we're going by the one drop rule, he's black, right? So a lot of the white people in America are already they're black, right? This is I have two very useless superpowers, right? I got two very 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 useless superpowers. I can tell when women are on their period. Sorry, ladies. And I can tell somebody who has distant black ancestry, right? Worthless superpowers, right? My whole family's tired of me. Everybody's tired of me saying this shit, right? I'll just be at Walmart and be like, oh God, she's on her period. My wife will be like, will you shut up? Right? Sometimes it's like a very strong iron smell, like a boom, hits you in the nose for me, right? And then I can just tell people who have distant, and it's like most of the white people in America, like except the ones in like the Midwest and stuff. But if you go like South and like East Coast, oh, they're all fucking black, bro. Like for me, like you look at like someone like Cindy Crawford, like you guys can't tell she's black. I'm like, I always look at her one day, it's like, am I the only one who can tell she's black? I'm like, oh my god, here he goes again. Everybody says that. Here he goes. I'm like, no, for real, look at her. Like all of her feature, every single, and then people will be saying that, and then they'll turn around and be like, "Oh, Zendaya should play her." Why do you think Zendaya should play her? Right? Why do you think her hair is so thick? You know, I can just see things like who else? Uh, Obviously Topanga, Boy Meets World. That's obviously. If anybody can't see that, they're crazy. Who else? Denise Richards. I don't know, from back in the '90s. That one was really obvious to me for some reason. Right? I don't know how you guys think Mariah Carey's black, but this one isn't, but whatever. So, yeah, those are my useless superpowers. But if everybody did that, then everybody just would kind of be, they'd all be considered white eventually. So, yeah. People keep saying Zendaya, type in Zendaya Cindy, and you'll see a bunch of people saying that she should play her in a movie. She should play her in a movie. I'm just like, okay, I guess you guys can see it too, but like we can't, Yeah, I can see it. It's easy for me. Abraham Lincoln, come on, bro. Oh shit! I think Dwight Eisenhower too, the president, Dwight Eisenhower, right? I can see it. And then I looked up his mom, and I was like, oh, Ida, yeah, yeah. So we've had three black presidents, to my knowledge. Nah, Elvis can kick rocks. Yeah, but if we want to go by the one drop rule, technically, he's not a cultural appropriator because he's a Melungeon. George Clooney, you know. Who else? Yeah, I can just see it. I can just see it. The black will come back. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Child, what? Why would you need to know that? Oh, I don't want to know it. I turned like 22 and all of a sudden it just started happening. It hurts, like it gives me a headache sometimes, right? I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I looked it up on Reddit and there's a bunch of other people that say that happens to them too. I don't want to know. I don't want to, like, I literally don't want to know, but like, I can't go to clubs and Walmart is rough. Target's okay for some reason. Walmart is rough. They're called passers. Yeah. I can tell when somebody's passing. I can tell. I had this friend growing up, and one day I was just like, "Are you black?" And she's like, "No," but people ask me that sometimes. And then her grandma passed away. She messaged me like years later that her grandma had a bunch of black dolls in her attic, and that when they were cleaning out her attic for some weird reason. I was like, she knows why she has them. It's interesting to me, but very useless superpower. Very useless superpower. Sinners. All right, is the agua, maybe agon spirit only, airlines aligns with AFA in, yeah, so when you do AFA, you're communicating with agon. You're specifically communicating with the woman head of agon. Because Agun has two heads, one woman, one male. So you're speaking to the female head of Agun, who is known as Arobin Agun or Ogun or Ne Agun. Okay? So yes, Agun is the one that does Afa, right? She is the consciousness of creation, the consciousness of the earth, the mind of the earth. That's who she is. The sentience, the awareness of the earth, right? It's Arobin Agun that makes everything aware. Okay? If two mixed people get together, you'll be able to see the black in the children. The African gene will always pop out. Like you said, when you study other things, you end up back where you should. I mean, come on, we can say that, but like there's a lot of people that people consider white. The reason this thing is interesting to me is a lot of people just consider just straight up white. They consider themselves white, but I can see it. I'm like, I can see something, that kind of thing. But even if it's there, people tend to not. Sometimes they just won't see it, and if you don't see it, you don't act on it, and there's that. Right? There's that. We don't do the one drop rule. Yeah. I can only go to Walmart. Only little ones. Too many bodies. Okay, I take it you don't like. There's a term for it. People, is it? Do you have agoraphobia, or is it like or are you neurospicy, uh, Phoenix? Because I know that neurospicy people don't like all the too many humans up in the place. I feel you. I get it. But yeah, no, Walmart. Oh, what? Clubs, Walmart, and yeah, that's about it. The clubs and Walmart. Strong pheromone, man. It's strong something. It's like it smells like iron, like a strong iron penny kind of smell. But like, I'll ask people if they can smell it. Like, no. I'm like, oh, all right, just useless ass superpower. Some people can see the future, man. I'm here, anyways. We have a lot of grandma and grandpas of white people that were pastors. But yeah, a lot of them, a lot. I'm trying to think of some more that I realized. Like I said, George Clooney, Abraham Lincoln, Babe Ruth's black ass, but I'm sure everybody knows that by now. Eisenhower, uh, Topanga. And it's funny too because like like anytime somebody's talking about Topanga, it's a bunch of black men talking about, oh man, that was my favorite snow bunny. Or some shit, or whatever their version of it. It's like, okay, yeah, not too far off, but yeah. Who else? Who else? Who else? Julia Roberts, Cindy Crawford. Uh, yeah. White people have very specific features. I think that's what Hitler was talking about, right? And it's very specific. So once it's not that, something else is going on, right? Oh, don't. Earth is another name for is Allah. No, Allah, Allah, Allah. You drop the A, Allah, right? Allah, right? So it's not the same as Allah. You understand? Igbo, the word is Allah, right? It's not the same as Allah. It's important because Igbo is a tonal language. So the way you say things is as important as what you say, right? If I say, what would Allah mean in Igbo? It wouldn't mean anything. It wouldn't mean anything. But Allah means earth. Allah. Drop, drop. The reason I used to say Odinani is because I had a hard time pronouncing Allah. I used to say, sometimes if I start talking too fast, I'll say Allah. And then people say, oh, Allah? No. So I switched to Odinani. In my dialect, we say Odinali. We say Ali. Ali. Right? So, I don't know. Good. That was answered. Yeah, there's iron in the blood. Yep. But here's the crazy thing. I can smell it before the period starts in the hair. I can smell it before the period starts in the hair. So, if for some reason I get a whiff of someone's hair, I can tell it's about to start. right? I can tell it's about to start. You know, yeah. Useless ass super, useless ass superpower. You know, in the it's in I can smell it in the hair before it starts, and then like the smell will come in the hair, and then after like 2 days it'll start. You know, so I don't think I'm neurospicy. I get anxious though. Oh, there's a frog that's coming to hang out. Oh yeah, Bia. Oh yeah, Ndo. All right, so I don't think I'm neurospicy. I get anxious though. I was at a school open house a couple weeks ago, and I was exhausted after 40 minutes. Okay, I feel you. I always love Topanga. And Topanga, they're always racist. The ones with the passing grandma are always the most. It's just a pattern I've been seeing. I used to live in a town where we were the only black family, and there was this kid. He was racist. You know, he had a little afro, but he was racist and shit. And I met his brother. I met his brother when I moved to a bigger city. He's like, "Oh, you're from this town. Do you know this person?" I'm like, "Oh, that's your brother. Da, 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 yeah, yeah, that kind of thing. This and this and this and that. Yeah, 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 right." And then he's like, "Yeah, I don't know if you knew, but we're black." Like, what? Yeah, yeah, we're black, man. Our grandpa is black. You know. I was like, yo, what the fuck? That kid was fucking racist. They're always not always. Let me say always, but they tend to for some reason. I consistently see them being racist. There's this girl on TikTok that's always popping off. She's white, and she's always popping off about black people. I'm just looking at her like, I know, right? She may not know. Often they don't know, but I know, right? But black people got some nerve. We got nerve. So it's probably like the black nerve gene mixed with the white racist gene creates just a monster, bro. We have audacity, so I don't know. Julia and Cindy look alike to me, yeah. Yeah. J. Edgar Hoover, yep, we know about that one. Hair, yep, definitely in the hair. Somehow feel like the hair makes sense. Hey, it is what it is. Also, you know how like women's periods sink? So if it happens like let's say an older woman's about to have her period and she lives with younger like little girls, all their hair will smell like it. It's the weirdest thing, right? And before anybody says I'm weird, I notice it with she's not gonna want me to share this. I notice it with my wife and my daughter. Right? My daughter just come up to me and I'll smell her hair. I'm like, oh, okay, it's about to happen, right? And it's not that they're rubbing their heads together or anything like that. It's synced. It's the strangest thing you'd ever see. What are the laws of the land now that I can hear? Oh, okay. All right, man. Appreciate your patience. So universally, incest. I can never say. I usually say incense when I try to say that, and then vice versa. Incest, murder, and then taking what belongs to spirit. Those are universal abominations. Anywhere in Igbo land you go, they're usually considered abominations. But then you'll go to certain places just because of the makeup of the land, one thing or another becomes an abomination, right? So where I'm from, killing a python is an abomination because a python is the animal. Like when the river wants to speak to you, she comes in the form of a python, and so if you're killing, then the python is also the owner of the land, right? So it's an abomination. The python is equal to humans in my community. If you accidentally kill a python, like let's say you're driving, like one of my uncles hit a python with a car, he had to give it a full funeral, right? So he paid for a full funeral. They gave it a burial, and that kind of thing. He ended up getting an accident and losing his eye, and he believes it was connected to the accident with the python. He believes, right? But yeah, so in my place, pythons, you can't do that. And then if the AHA, which is like this town congress, can make laws. Now, the law is not necessarily our a law is not necessarily arrow, right? When arrow happens, the way it's treated is way different than like the violation of a law. But you can make one of your laws into an iwala, which makes it arrow, violating an arrow. So we have this very, very, very old law in my town that is also arrow where if your wife cheats on you and you're aware of it and let it happen, that's arrow. So people from my town can't make no Diddy tapes. They can't get a couch on the corner, nothing, right? Because in my town, that act is arrow, right? Now, maybe the next town over, they're into that and that's, they can do, but we made it a law and then we made the law arrow. So somebody must have really got pissed off and that kind of thing. Random question, but bro, why do people think black people and African people are different people? Are you talking about all like the pretendian stuff that's going on? The FBAs and the pretendians and all that stuff? Uh, I have an answer, but I don't have an answer at the same time, right? I have an answer, but I don't have an answer at the same time. Okay? I think one day we'll all sit down and have that discussion. If you guys have more questions, then you can probably badger it out of me. But I don't even like the term black anymore. I'll use it, just because that's what I grew up using. It's habit, but it's the shit's stupid. It's you're an African. It's African, right? And I think there's a lot of mechanisms in the United States to avoid calling a person an African. I think it's a slur in America, right? I don't think Americans are telling us the full story, right? I am suspecting that that is what's actually the issue with the N word, but I'm gonna leave that alone, right? But I think it's been a slur so long in America. It's been a slur so long in America that now people are just bushwhacked. They don't know what's going on. They're confused. You understand, right? It's a complex thing. It's very complex. I think it's worth its own discussion. I want to actually have one of them. We were Atlanta. Atlanta is actually Atlantis. I'm a Cherokee, Moor, Hebrew. I want to have one of them up here. I want to talk to one and just see, really just pick their mind. But god damn, once they figure out you're specifically Nigerian, hey man, they lose their what? Man, they lose their mind. So I think it's a complicated thing, but I think that I'm beginning to realize that the actual issue with the N word is that it means African. I think that's the issue with it. I think that's why it's so bad, right? Oh, it's the nah. I think it means African. I think that's the issue, right? So yeah, but I could be wrong. It's not necessarily 100% my culture. I have been having dreams about the next. Okay, let me. I think I missed some. Okay, no, I didn't. All right, welcome. This name is new. All right. I have been having dreams about the next day most nights, but I don't remember them until the event takes place. Can this be seen as time traveling? What does Odinani have to say have on dreams? Okay, cool. Let me read that again. Having dreams about the next day most nights, but I don't remember them until the event takes place. Yeah, so that's a gift. So there's this thing in Odinani, right? We understand this. We have this thing called Mo, which is your spirit. Everybody comes in two forms. Mado, which is form one, Mo, which is form two, right? Everybody comes in twos, right? So there's you, and then there's this aura body around you, right? Now, one of the things, this is my own deduction. This is something that I've learned on my own, and I don't think a lot of like DBS and stuff know this, right? Well, they know this part that I'm about to say. Your spirit, your moi is everywhere you have been and everywhere you are going to be. It is everywhere you have been and everywhere you are going to be. And some people are very good at accessing their moi where it has been before, right? All the places it's been. Maybe we say these people got good memory. That kind of, some people can see their past life, have past life visions. All of that is related to being able to see where your spirit has been, your moi has been. But some people have the capacity to see where their moi is going or where it's about to be. Because in the ancestral view of time, it is all happening. It has all already happened. It is all happening at once. It's not really something you're moving towards. If you're a science person, right? The image, my cosmic imagination visualizes more like a neuron. Where usually when they draw neurons, they'll have the nucleus in the middle, which is, this is me, I'm the nucleus in the middle. And then you have this plasma around it. And then that plasma connects like strings to all the other plasma. And then when the brain has a message, abia, it shoots this light through and it hits you and it goes to the next one, that kind of thing, right? And all the neurons in your body, they're all there already, right? It's already happening. The string is all, it's not like once you have a thought, the string then like, I mean, neurons can make new connections and stuff, but it's not like every thought is its own string, right? So when that thing travels, it goes, it's moving through time, right? Past, let's say the string over here is the past, the string over here is the future, and just fires through, right? So bringing it back to reality, you can access the future. You can access the past, right? One of the reasons people do AFA is that AFA can do that. It can go everywhere. AFA can go everywhere. Self-hating people are dangerous. Yes. But to themselves, really, just to themselves. What what do you think happens with three parts of a person's spirit in Igbo people mix with TY people? Or YT, I think. Okay, when they mix with what? I don't know. It does. I don't think anything changes. It's it's a, that's a funny ass question. No, I don't think anything changes. You know, everybody has the same. It's four parts, but I see you're recalling well anyway. But those everybody has the same four parts. It's not just Igbo people that have it. All right. Where are you from? Mini Beast, this is such a hard question for me to answer these days. That is a hard ass question for me to answer. But I'm from a town called AMaA in Nigeria, right? But because I don't live in the state I grew up in, sometimes people ask me that question, and I don't know if you're asking about the state. Is this one asking if I'm Nigerian, or they're asking about what state I'm from in the U.S. and that kind of thing? So I'm from AMaA. I'm from Awo in Imo State in Nigeria. I saw a video of a village where if a person finds a python in their house, they can't kill it and they must go to the traditional priest. Yeah, same thing with my town. We do the same thing. We do the exact same thing. Only like you don't necessarily need to go to like a priest, but you what you do is you offer it a meal. You just like a guest. You offer it a meal. You offer it a cola, offer it some drinks. You let it hang out, and then after it's hung out for a while, somebody will come with like a stick, like a long stick, and they'll lay the stick down. And we have to wait for the python to wrap itself around the stick when it's ready to go home, right? That's its car, right? So once it wraps itself around that stick, you then take it and carry it into the forest. Yesterday, I told the story of my uncle, R.I.P. He was one of my heroes growing up, because we have the same troll ass humor. He used to be the person they would call to get the snake, and then once it wrapped around, he would just start running around and chasing people with it. Like if you fall, he'd put his foot on you, start putting the python up to your face, and people would just be screaming. And he thought it was hilarious. You know, he's man, R.I.P. Man, that man was a legend. But yeah, one of my uncles used to be the one that gets the snakes. Uh, but it happens a lot. So we can't kill pythons in my town. So my school bathroom, back growing up in Nigeria, the school was in just dilapidated. It was in bad condition to begin with. I'm actually personally working on rebuilding it, piece by piece. We had to pause. By the way, giving you guys updates on the school. So we have enough bricks to like start the foundation and start building. The next thing we're gonna do is tear the current school down. I paused because I'm moving and I'm super duper broke. But once the moving's over, I'm going to resume and then I'll start posting pictures and stuff. But if you go to the school now, it's just a whole bunch of bricks and a lot of you guys helped with that. So shout out to you. It's a whole bunch of bricks ready to be turned into a school, right? And what was I talking about? Yeah, we have the same thing at home. Oh, yeah. So the school bathroom, nobody used the school bathroom because the pythons had just like if you open it, they're just like 50 pythons all up it, just piled on each other, and people would just scream and start running, right? Because again, we can't kill pythons in our community. We don't kill them. We don't expect it's their town before it was our town. So you might bump into one very easily. And if you go to our main shrine in Jabanquo, all the pythons all over town, at the end of the day, they all just gather there and chill. That's our main shrine. So, yeah, I can do without the diddle tapes. Yes, yes. So, my ancestors were ahead of their time. They made sure that nobody can do that buffoonery. We took on the colonizers' mindset in the States. It is an infectious mind state. I'm with you. I was born in the U.S., but I will say I'm African. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then here's the thing too. Here's the thing too. This stuff about I was born here, so I'm this. That's not how we do it. That's not how we. That's not how we do it. You are who you are, who you are, who you are. Right? You are who your ancestors are. So if your ancestors are from this place, you're from that place. Right? I I was born in the state of Nebraska. If you ask me where I'm from, I'll tell you I'm from Awamama. I'm from Umokwe, right? That's how we see it. That's how it's been through the black parts of Africa, right? The farming parts of Africa, right? The only people that do that, I was born here, so I'm from here, are the nomads. That's a nomad mentality. And if you know the history of Eurasia, you'll know why European countries also do that. Oh, he was born here, so he's from here. You know, I remember growing up, they used to ask, "What if you were born in an airplane?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" I had an answer, but for a lot of people, that's a debate. That's not a debate for me, you know. So you're from where your ancestors are from, in the African sense, right? And it's not a matter of people always do this. Oh, but one time a Nigerian guy was rude to me. Like, okay, so what the fuck does that matter? You know? Okay. An American's been rude to you. Didn't stop you from being an American, right? So let's not do that. One time, a guy from Ghana cut me off. You know, definitely gotta go later. Cool. I use African, Black, American interchangeably. I think my generation embraced Black because it's what we call our ethnicity. That makes sense. I no, I understand that, and we don't take pride in U.S. identity because it's tied to pale. Yeah, yeah. No, I understand Black as an ethnic group 100%. That makes more sense to me. You know, but I'm beginning to question just some of these phrases because really it's African, right? And it's just like, wait, why can't it be African? Why not? You know, there's a lot of things. Okay, there's a lot of things in my head, and I'm looking for the wrong mf'er to say the wrong thing so that I can start talking. But if I just start talking, it would be too random. It would be way too random, right? But I'm looking, I'm waiting. You know, I got that kind of thing, and that's one of the topics. That's one of the discussions I want to have. And I don't want to have it on a soapbox where I'm just like talking like this, right? Because everybody I'm talking to, my medicine shell community, you guys have sense, right? You guys have sense. You guys have sense beyond, like, you guys are like, I'm not even, as the young people say, I'm not even glazing, right? I'm lucky to deal with consistently intelligent people. So one of the reasons I can't just yap is that you guys already know what I'm about to say. You guys already know what it is. I don't need to convince anybody anything, right? That kind of thing. They put me in the wrong place. I got some things to say, right? I got some things to say. So I don't know why this thing is fading like this. Hold on. All right. Is there a connection between moi and the akaraka on your palm? Yes, yes, yes. So, John, man, good question. So, moi is, think of, let me do this. Moi, ete, akaraka. Same thing. Same thing. All the same thing. This is something I learned late. I learned this probably last year at the earliest, 2 years ago, it clicked one day. They're the same thing. So you can think of like ete like a story, and then akaraka is like just the written version, right? The text. You understand? The script to the movie. Understand? Aghon is the spirit of Afa. Yes, Aghon is the spirit of Afa very specifically because Aghon has two heads. So it's the female half of Aghon that is the one that you're speaking to when you're doing Afa. Is the female head of Aghon that you're speaking to when you're doing Afa. Which is why it's important to bury your seeds or bury your instruments of doing divination before you start using it. Because that female head is the consciousness of the earth. Arubinago. Arubinago. Okay. Oh, email state. Allegedly, that's where my dad's side comes from. Ah, Phoenix. Let me find out we're family. Let me find out we're family. Cool, 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 cool. Let me find out we're family. How many years does Raja get in prison? Isn't that what's his name? Rampage's son? Isn't that Rampage's son? I'm trying to remember the story. He beat up a wrestler in a premeditated way. I don't think the wrestler's gonna press charges. I don't think the wrestler's gonna press charges. The world of wrestling. One of there's a member of our Patreon community who is a wrestler, and we talk all the time because like I'm really into the psychology of wrestling. It's really fascinating. I think if you want to understand America, you have to understand wrestling. It's the same thing. And the the so in that world, pressing charges for getting beat up is insane. You can't do it. So I don't think he's gonna get in trouble at all. I don't think the wrestler's gonna press charges. You're talking about a guy that jumps through glass window panes for entertainment and barbed wire and thumbtacks. So he'll be alright. So that kind of thing. So you know, could the N word be related to old ideas of God, goddesses of water, meaning change, powerful? Moonshine, I don't know. I see all those different things. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Color realistically means nothing, but we made it something very meaningful. Absolutely, yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't subscribe to the hierarchy exactly, and then I feel sometimes. So one of the reasons I'm not big on the term is because I get what it's trying to do, right? All over the world, there are people that refer to themselves as white, and it's usually they do that as a pretense to disenfranchising the people that they're going to label as black. All over the world, all over the world, and they don't match. They often don't match colors the way they do in the Western version of racism, right? All over the world, right? There are certain ethnic groups in Africa that same color as me, but they're white, and that no, no, I'm white. He's black, right? And it's a ploy. It's a ploy, right? What's his name? Haile Selassie said he wasn't black, right? No, no, I'm not black. They're black. You know that kind of thing, right? He knows what he's saying. I know what he's saying too. A lot of people in Africa that aren't internet brained, we know what he's saying, right? In one of the, I think, Tang Dynasty in China, where the Central Asians took over, the Central Asians called themselves white, and the Han were black, right? And they set up a caste system based on that. You understand? I'm trying to think of some other weird examples. A lot of them are in Africa. Um, I do wonder the Khazar Khanate. They're gonna demonetize me for saying this. The Khazar Khanate had the same system, but the same Khanate, Khan, Central Asian people are the same ones that set it up in China. But they set it up so that Some of them were called white, some of them were called black, but I don't know why. But I would assume it's the same reason they do it everywhere. So I know the ploy. I know what that is, right? It's somebody coming to take something from somebody else. So they call you something or they put you in a box where you don't deserve things, so that them taking it is not a breach of their morality, right? Yeah. Usually nomads do this. It's almost always nomads that do this. Nomads take over places. When nomads take over places of settled people, they tend to set up a race looking hierarchy that looks like race, right? Looks like race. And they will often call themselves white, even if they're the same color as the other people. They'll call themselves white, and then the other people will be black. You know, India, India, same thing. The nomads came in. We're white, you're black, that kind of thing. What is the Igbo word for the traditional wrestling? Mba, 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 or mba, 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 mba. But it's mba, MGBA, right? So that's the traditional wrestling. I don't know other martial arts, but I do know they existed. I don't know other martial arts, but I do know they existed. Right? I just don't know them. One of the effects of colonialism is they try to get rid of all the things that pertain to military, right? The things that pertain to military in a culture, the militant things in a culture, that kind of thing. So those are the hardest ones to learn about and rediscover. We still there's every town has its like war dance, and so we do our war dance near my mom's side of town where her people are from, right? But it's they use guns in their war dance, and I don't or in our war dance. I don't see the martial arts. I don't see anything there. I'm grateful for your teaching, Moonshine. Thank you. I appreciate that. That felt very sincere. Thank you. Okay, all right, John. John's cooking today. I was wondering if the act of Eke opening Obichuku is symbolic of one making the journey to be with one's chi. And in unity, gain a deeper awareness and Yo, John, I don't doubt that at all. All of the patterns of existence follow that story. And it's like a fractal that keeps repeating itself in different shapes and forms, and that fractal created all of existence. So you can every aspect of life can be seen in that in Odachi Nebere and similar stories, which are all repetitions of Odachi. If you pay attention, they're all repetitions of Odachi Nebere, right? Even the story where Agon wants to know what Chuku knows, right? Chuku says that if you want to know what I know, you have to balance all the Abara on your head. Agon then struggles, balances all the Abara on its head. Chuku then says, I'm impressed, well done, and then instructs the other Abara to tear up Agon and eat a piece of Agon, so that everything in creation has Agon within it, because Agon is all knowing and has the mind of Chuku, right? Agon is also referred to as the Ezum Ezum Mo, the all-knowing, all-seeing Mo, right? The total and complete Mo, right? So one can say all of the Abara balance on Agon's head is also Agon. If that makes sense, right? Agon saw itself, Atsumatsu. You can also say, there's also another version of the story where Agon is the only Abara that can say Eke Uri Afo Nkwo in proper order. And because of that, Chuku then advised everybody to rip up Agon and eat a piece, right? So in all these stories, there's this awareness, and then because of this awareness, Agon is shattered into pieces. It's torn apart. It's just that's Odachi Nebe. It's the same story, right? I'm sleepy now. Good night, everyone. Yeah, guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. All right, so Phoenix just ruined the party. Phoenix, why'd you ruin the party? for taking the share and explaining all this. Odimma. Yeah, so John, man, thank you for recommending Odimma. Yeah, it's Odimma. Thanks for recommending that we talk about AFA. So we talked about it. I'm going to be, because usually the boot camps, I just have it for the people in the traditional medicine class. But if you don't want to sign up for a whole traditional medicine class, you just want to learn like AFA or root medicine, just something very specific, I'm just going to make the boot camps available. So right now, I have it listed on patreon.com/the medicine show. If you want to sign up for that class, it's September 27th, top of the head. No, let me not say anything. Then let me not say dates. I'm not good at dates. The date is on the page. So if it works for you, sign up. Each boot camp is $50, but if you're in the traditional medicine class, you can just walk in for free. So that being said, everybody, uno gade, uno geto, unko abala, uno tiriaka, oga de noa, oga de otwa neke, urie, afo na unko. Ise.